Hopefully we're in focus. Ah. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, welcome, hello. My name is Kimberly. I'm so glad you are here. It has been a long time since I've actually sat down in front of the camera to do a sit down video, so bear with me, it might be a little bit rusty. So I've had a video in mind for a while now, so as you can probably tell by the title about kind of what it's about. But before we get started, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button down there somewhere, and yeah, let's get into it. Yeah, last year in 2018 I was 20, and I recently just turned 21 in December. So it's kind of good, like my birthday's really my birthday's really close to Christmas, but it's good because then it's kind of like it's at the end of the year, so then it's like I have one full year of being that age, whereas obviously other people turn different age in the middle of the year, but I know I kind of like it because it's just all in one, and it's like a new year and it's like a new age and everything. I don't know if that makes sense. So yeah, where do I begin? Last year was probably one of the biggest years of my life. Went through some shit, I can say that. Last year truly opened my eyes up to a lot of things. I learnt more about life and myself in 1 year than all my other years combined. It was I took in a lot of information. I don't know, it's hard to explain, but I'll get more into it. It was a big year and I learned a lot, and I think I've changed, hopefully not in a bad way, but definitely my views and perspectives on things are different now. I like to use my hands when I talk. I feel like at the start of the year, like I look at photos from my 20th birthday and I'm like, oh my god, like I was so, like I just was like innocent and like oblivious and didn't know what was happening or what was gonna happen in the year. Like I had ideas in my head about what I wanted to do like this year. I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do this and this, and save all this money and go traveling and all this stuff, and like be with my boyfriend, and yeah, and then just it was the first year that I think something had happened where it wasn't in control of it. Like I don't think I'm a controlling person, or like, you know, no, I'm gonna do this and this, and like, no, I don't know if that makes sense, but I had thoughts and ideas about what my year was going to be like, and then something like happened and you're just like, what the fuck, like that was not what I thought would happen and stuff like that. So I think that definitely was something that triggered the start of the year, which made a huge like impact into the rest of my year, like kind of like a domino, not like a bad domino effect, but I just made little changes in my life, I think, and I made decisions about what I wanted in my life and did things that I actually didn't think that I would ever do, like going to Europe. So so as I always say, like, you know, if another door closes, another one will open. So I tried to stay very positive about everything. So I'm not sure if maybe some of you have had this like experience or something, whether it be you've lost someone, you've gone through a breakup, which is what it was for me, just something that's happened in your life that's just, you know, maybe near-death experience or something that's just made you go, whoa. So I feel like going through something, anything that kind of like affects you in a big way can be a big impact on you around this age, because you're still growing, still trying to figure out who you are and everything like that. And breakups can happen, or anything can happen for a lot of reasons, and breakups happen for a lot of different reasons. It sometimes isn't a bad thing, sometimes for you to both go off and grow together. No, it's sometimes for you to go off and like you need to grow on yourself, and that's what I think when that happened to me, I was a little bit in shock, because I'd been with this person for so long and I knew like who I was with that person, and then when we like separated, I was like, I had no idea like who I was, and it was so confusing. Yeah, it was also very confusing because you still love this person, but you know that you guys need space to grow and then, you know, see if you actually want to still be together or not. So it's very confusing because you're like, I still, you know, you still have strong feelings for that person if you broke up to just go off and, you know, grow and see who you are as a person. So yeah, it was quite confusing at a time. I'm sure plenty of people have been through this. So I decided to go to Europe with my best friend, and it was such an awesome experience, and it was really good because I kind of just booked it because I wasn't going to be sitting at home like sobbing and stuff. So I've always wanted to go to Europe, and I did that, and it was a really, really good experience. So if you've ever thought about going, trust me, do it. I did it in a tour, and it was really good because you got to meet new people and just listen to, you know, their life story and their experience and what they've been through, because obviously everyone's storyline is different to you, and their past might be what you're going through now or your future. So definitely just meeting new people there was great, and just learning and seeing things in person that you've never seen before, like the Eiffel Tower, like what? So yeah, definitely travel is a good way to get through a breakup. I just love culture and everything, so it was really fun. I definitely learned a lot about myself. So going through the breakup, definitely, it was kind of like a clean slate, but in a confusing way, because there were so many things that I liked, and I was like, but I liked them with this other person, or like I like them because of this other person, like they made me like it and stuff. So it made me realize a lot of things, like what I actually want in life, who I kind of want to be, the direction I want to go. And it also made me realize that friends and family are so important, and I started to prioritize them a little bit more. I think because when you're in a relationship, you just get caught up in the bubble of it, and you just want to be with that person all the time. And it's because, yeah, you're just caught up in this love bubble thing. And then when you break up, that's why I tried to stay connected with my friends and not just be like, I tried not to hang out with like my boyfriend all the time, my ex I should say, all the time. So yeah, definitely started prioritizing them and just spending time with them and making better relationships, like closer relationships and connections, and especially with family as well. I'm very lucky to have a wonderful family, so I definitely try to prioritize them and I think as that happens as you get older anyway, because when you're a teenager you kind of just like hate everyone. Not hate's a strong word, but you kind of just like a moody bitch, and you just hide in your room and you just play music, and yeah. So I think as you get older, especially going out of high school, you obviously keep a small group of friends, and you don't have, you know, all these other people around you, and you know, you can get heaps of likes on Facebook, but doesn't mean you have a lot of friends. So I definitely, you know, your family are friends as well, and I love talking to them. And so definitely as you're growing up, you realise how important family and friends are, especially the ones that you're closest to. I literally text my best friend every day, just whatever and whenever. So yeah, so don't be afraid to be close with your family. I don't know, even at a young age, even when you're going through that awkward teenage stage, don't be afraid to, you know, to tell your family that you love them, because you know that they are always going to be there for you. So don't forget that, especially when you're having fights. Love will always win, guys. So I've actually written notes on my phone because there's actually things I specifically wanted to talk about. So sorry if this is all muddled up and everything, because I keep checking it and being like, oh, I missed saying that. So where was I? Actually, when I was saying when I was in Europe, I was talking to people and listening to their stories and their life stories. My views definitely changed. So I think my views changed on like what it was like to be single and in a relationship, and on myself. Oh yeah, so I had obviously quite a hard time at some stages because I was with this person for so long, and then all of a sudden you're not. I was a little disappointed in myself that I let myself just forget about the things that I actually wanted in life and who I wanted to be and my morals. and they just kind of faded away when I was with, like, in a relationship. You kind of sometimes just forget about what's important to you. So when I came out of that, it was kind of, they all started coming back again, and it was a little bit good because they were distracting as well. And then I was like, oh my god, like, I should have been, why wasn't I doing these things? So so all of them started flooding back, and the things that I wanted to do, just like little things, like maybe yoga, meditating and stuff. So when I got back from Europe, I started doing some more of those things, and they actually were a good distraction as well, and also helped me grow as a person. So I started reading a lot more like I started reading like life books, like motivating books, motivation books, guru books kind of thing. I'm not sure. I read The 4 Agreements, which was really, 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 really good. They helped me change my view and perspective on a lot of things. They kind of helped me reboost my spirits and made me realise like why I'm here on earth, and what, you know, you only have one life. So if you want the life you want, then keep heading on the direction that you want. Don't worry about, you know, obviously there's going to be ups and downs, but you're heading in the right direction. Don't worry so much about it. Just work hard. And reminding me that it's okay that I needed to be by myself. Just so, yeah, making sure that I was letting go of negative energy that I was holding on to, and starting to do things that I wanted to do, and making sure that I also was making time for me time. So obviously you go back to work and it's just work, you come home, it's like the same stuff all the time. So yeah, just making sure that I had a day of me time just to do maybe like even just like an hour set out, maybe every second day or every day, just doing something for yourself, because it's your life. You can't always be living for money and all these other things, like materialistic things. And that's also, you'll be able to check in with yourself to make sure, you know, ask yourself, are you okay? Is there anything, you know, what, oh my god, there's a fly, seriously. You know, you might sit down and be like, oh, you know, this has been bothering me, and think about why it's bothering you and go through it, and then hopefully you can find a problem, a solution, and then just let it go. And then move forward with your life. Learned that I should love the earth more for what it gives us. We are very lucky to be on this earth. It could be obviously worse. I think we need to be more grateful for what we have now. Hopefully my generation we've already started to, you know, reduce plastics and everything, but hopefully my generation will step up and do big things. I'd love to help out with anything like that. But yeah, some of the books made me realise that this fly, I'm serious, mate. I know it's Australia Day, but you can't just be flying around my video. It's the light, he likes the light. You chuck a fucking shoe at it. So yeah, I definitely would sit down and realise, because I had more time on my hands, I definitely wasn't so oblivious to what was going on around me. I was looking more and trying to be in the now. So I am reading The Power of Now, and it's definitely, I've read only a few chapters and it's already changed my perspective on life. And definitely obviously everyone has troubles with controlling the little thoughts that go on in your brain. So practicing the power of now, just living in now and observing what's actually going on around you at the exact moment, kind of stops those little thoughts coming in. And also learning how to stop those thoughts by yourself, because you can observe them. You can be like, you could be sitting there and these thoughts coming through, and then you'd be like, and then something clicks and you'd be like, why am I doing this? What, like, stop. Like, and then what I would practice, I would look at my hands and then look up and be like, okay, I'm here. This is what I'm doing now. Let's focus on this. and all that other little stuff does not even matter. Or you can go home later and sit down with it and be like, okay, why was this happening? Why am I thinking these thoughts? And just like work it out. So yeah, definitely life became a little bit easier after reading some of those books. But it's still hard to practice some of the things that you learn, especially in the Four Agreements. I think it talks about how to love without receiving love back. That can be a little bit hard because obviously you're so used to being like, when you give love you want something back. So I kind of was practicing that with the earth. I know it sounds weird, but when you feel, I guess, an emotion of love, you kind of feel like everything else is, it's hard to explain. Yeah, definitely trying to practice the things that I've learned from those books and also things that I learned from other people. So sometimes it can be a bit hard practicing those because you forget about it and then you come home and you'll be like, oh, I didn't practice that when I could have, or something. So it's not as easy. Some people think, they read a book and their life's changed forever. It obviously does affect you and reminds you of a good person you can be, or like little things that you can do to help yourself improve and to stop being negative and to stop having those little thoughts in your head all the time. I would definitely recommend The Four Agreements and The Power of Now. I read some other ones, but those two are mainly the most ones that have helped me. I think I also got a little bit smarter in some ways. I definitely actively not watch the news, but find out what's happening in the world. I'm actually interested in it, whereas obviously when you're a kid, you kind of see the big news things and hear about them, but now you realise like, then the news doesn't tell you everything. So yeah, you try and find actually what's going on in the world, and the world, I realise, is insane. Like, it's just, as you get older you obviously start to understand a lot more things, and like you learn what goes on in the world and how crazy some things are. Like even just the small things, like the small things that shock you, like that actually happen in the world, like good and bad. Like for example, like people in the world that think they are actual vampires or something. Like it's just that's a weird example, but you know what I mean. Like there's just some crazy things out there, or the natural disasters that happen, and you hear it in the news once when you're a kid and then you kind of think nothing of it, but when you're an adult you I try and continue on seeing what's happening, because you hear it on the news once and then those people are still going through all those things. They might have lost their house, anything, and we just carry on with our daily lives, and it's just crazy to me, like those things happen. And I just wish that we could all realise that love is more important than all these other things. Like, like some children don't have a proper upbringing. They have to flee countries with their parents and sleep in tents, and they don't have a proper house, and just all those things you realise. And it's just, why can't we all just love and help each other out and like we're only here once on this life. Why can't we make everyone happy? Like I don't see why people have to be so stubborn and selfish. Obviously I am very lucky and I'm so grateful that I have a roof over my head and running water from a tap, but it just makes me a little bit upset when, obviously I'm not saying I have no decision over what people do with their money, but there's people out there with so much more money than a lot of us, and there's people who don't have running water taps and living with no homes, and I just don't get the balance. But I guess that's just my opinion on things, I guess, and I can't really judge. I'm not going to judge, but obviously obviously that is an actual truth thing. I've definitely learnt to be a lot more grateful for what I have in this life. Like, I'm sitting on a bed right now that I sleep in every day, and that to me is, I'm so grateful for it. I got a little bit carried away. So there's one last thing, back to talking about figuring out who I am. So I know the type of person I want to be, and sometimes when I feel like I'm not being that person, I feel like I'm letting myself down. But then I get confused because I'm like, well, why am I trying to be something that I'm not? I guess it's just a hard time trying to figure out who you are without other things influencing that. I think I've realised sometimes it's scary to be yourself because you don't want to stand out. Like, I know, like, a lot of people don't want to be in the spotlight and feel like they're, because obviously when you're younger, being different was, you kind of didn't want to be different, because then if you're different from those people, they didn't like you, because it was just confusing at a young age. So it can be scary trying to be, just to be you, because you feel like you're different, and then the people judge you because you're not like them. So that's why I've also realised not to judge other people, because I don't want to be judged either. And then also just keep reminding myself to stop worrying about that and just to be me. And if that's not good enough for some people, then that's not my problem. That's their problem, and I'm going to be me. And if they don't like me, then I will find people who do like me. So I'm still obviously trying to practice that and practice self-love. And so yeah, just to keep focusing on that, my success and what I actually want in life, and to strip away all the other bullshit and just to focus on me and what my heart tells me and my mind. And because yeah, at the end of the day, it's your life. You have to live with yourself. You have to, you know, want to be proud of yourself, and if you want to be happy, then go and be happy. So don't worry about all the other bullshit. Eat all the chocolate you want whenever you want. Last night I ate like nearly a block of chocolate. No regrets, because it makes me happy. So I'm hoping this helps someone. I probably blabbled on about so much shit. But I just wanted to make this video and vent and tell you about my first year of into my 20s, and how it was so eye-opening, and I did a lot of things, I had a lot of experiences, and yeah, I'm definitely a different person to when I was at the start of last year to the start of this year. I went into this year with like just an open mind and open heart, no expectations, not really any New Year's resolutions or anything. I'm just going to take it day by day, and to try and just do my best every day, and to not stop for what I want and my goals and my career, and just to also keep checking in with myself to make sure that I am okay, and listening to what I actually want, and not be afraid to go for what you want, and to also learn to let things go when you know that holding on actually does more damage than letting go. So I hope this year is full of love and wonderful things, and your eyes open up to everything in good ways. Learn to love unconditionally without receiving, which is actually sometimes hard because everyone just wants love. But if you just learn to love without expecting anything back, then you just love everything. So I hope you guys have had a wonderful New Year's and a wonderful start into your 2019. If you do have any questions, do not be afraid to leave them in the comments, because I would be happy to do a Q&A on anything even more about into this video, because obviously I can't think of all the questions everyone might be thinking. Or don't hesitate to message me. I will put my Instagram in the link below. But I just wanted to share my thoughts, and hopefully you guys won't be, if you're turning 20, don't be scared, don't worry. Life happens. You obviously can't, do anything when situations happen. The only thing you can do is react to it. So that's the only thing you control, unfortunately, but it's a good thing you can control. Because you can either feed the negative energy, you can react negatively and poorly, or you can say, no, I'm not going to react poorly. I'm going to react in a positive way and see the negative, and also what I said before, if another door shuts, another one will open, or you can force yourself through that door, because why not? Anyway, I'm going to wrap it up because I'm not sure how long this video is going to be. So yeah, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button and leave a comment if you want. I can do a Q&A or I will answer them. But I hope everyone is having a lovely start to their 2019. And if it wasn't such a good start to 2019, don't worry, we still have plenty of days left and you can do whatever you want. There's no such thing as starting fresh on a new year. You can start fresh every time you wake up, so don't worry too much. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye!